What I've got is a little note-taking demo written with a stack that is built with open source components, and it is a game changer for a lot of business applications. With this stack, I can create web applications and native mobile applications at the same time. That's what you see here. The browser on the screen to the left is running the web version of the application, and the phone on the right is running the native Android version of the app. A single codebase produced both the browser version and the phone version. I gave it one command and it produced a web application that I could have deployed to AWS or to Google Compute Engine. As it is, it's just running here locally in development mode, and I've got it up in the browser. And with another command, I was able to just spit out a Android APK app package, and I have installed that on my phone. I could have made it in such a way that I could send it to the App Store as well. And I can use it to create an iOS application. I've not set anything up for that at the moment, but it is pretty straightforward, and I have a Mac to work with, so that'll happen at some point. Now, this demo app, it requires you to create an account, and that's so each account can have notes, and that account's notes will stay separate from some other account's notes. And so what I've done, I've logged into the web application on the browser, and I have also logged into the native app running on the phone, and you can see that they both start off with the same couple of notes. And so I'm gonna now show off the offline capabilities of the stack, and I can I can add a note on one, and it shows up right away on the other, and any changes I make will go from the browser to the application, and vice versa, pretty much as soon as they occur. And you might ask, well, how is this showing off offline capabilities? Well, what's actually happening here is there is a database running locally in the browser, and there's also a database running locally next to the native application on the phone. And those databases are syncing with a main central database, which is just one that I'm running in the background on my workstation. And changes to any of those synced databases get shared immediately from one database to the next, so that all three contain the same information. And when one gets cut off from the rest, it'll just soldier on, and it'll catch up next time communications are restored. And another part of this stack is essentially a local web server that in the browser is actually running in JavaScript there on the browser. And then on the Android device, it's running there local to the native application. And that lets the user interface operate without a network connection. So the local web server talks to the local database, which gracefully handles getting disconnected from its peers, like when I put it in airplane mode here. And the native phone application works fine. I can add notes, make changes. It never complains about not being able to phone home. I can do lots of great things in the browser, which is running in well-connected space, and it can talk back to the central database. And I can do things over on the phone, which has no network connection at all. But when I turn airplane mode off, and the app can communicate back to the central database, all the edits and all the new records get synced back and forth. And the notes on both are the same. Well, they're out of order, but they're there, and I can fix that. So the apps do work well offline. There are limitations with that. If you're moving lots of large chunks of data, things like videos, very large images, this stack isn't going to work so well for something like that. I won't let your customers work with your entire catalog with all the slick photography. It's really not intended for that sort of thing. But for most business applications where data is pretty small, names, addresses, measurements out in the field, inventory counts, it'll work amazingly well. If your organization builds applications, or if it has processes or paperwork that has to date defied automation because to do something that would provide an offline solution would have involved needing separate native and web-based applications that would just make it too expensive or too complex to justify the cost, then I would love to talk about your project to see if it's a good fit. If you're seeing this on the Framework Labs website, you can just use the form at the bottom of this page to get in touch. Or you can email me at fred@frameworklabs.us, and I will get you a new project survey, and we can schedule a time to talk about your project. Thank you for watching, and cheers.